Welcome back to Wayne TV. I'm Joel Gilley. We have our good friend Miss Sherry Archibald with us today from the United Way of Wayne County. And Sherry,
I'm all by myself.
You are all by yourself. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Does that mean everybody else is slam busy?
Everybody else is running all over the place, yes.
So what's going on? We are now in the, goodness, we're in June now.
I know.
And time is flying by. So what's new with the United Way?
It is. So June, Pilar is very busy right now planning the Day of Action, June the 21st.
Yeah.
It's Day of Action is a national United Way Day event, typically on the 21st. However, United Ways, because we're autonomous, sometimes it varies a little. But we try to follow that. So on the 21st, we are planning several projects, working with a lot of nonprofits, and getting them lined up, whatever their needs are, trying to connect organizations and teams and individuals to be able to do those projects and get them executed and provide support to those nonprofits.
And there's a ton of different projects. I mean, it can literally be like, you tell me, but it can literally be like fixing up a flower bed. I mean, like it could be anything, right?
It could be that, painting a wall.
Yeah.
It could be gathering materials for homeless kits, lots of different things. So, you know, if folks corporate are listening to this and they want maybe a project to do, but they can't leave, we've done this quite a bit, like with places like the hospital who they've got to stay there while they're working. They don't have the, you know, the flexibility to leave. We've taken all the project to them. So if there are projects, that an employer is listening to and says, hey, this would be a great thing for my employees to do, but they don't have accessibility to leave, we can certainly set something up. There's always such a variety of things to do.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things where you do see a lot of the corporate partners that step up to do projects, but individuals can help out too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, they can just call you guys and get paired up.
Families, great time, especially in June. You know, school is out, so maybe they want something to go do with their kids or their grandkids. So it'd be a great opportunity. So all that's going to be on our website. We've started the links for sign-ups, but all the projects aren't listed there yet because we're still getting all those coming in. I know the Wayne County Public Library will be working very closely. They always have one or two projects. So, and several of our other nonprofits. So we'll have lots of things to do. So she is in the midst of that right now.
That's awesome, and it's such a good way to give back to your community. I mean, all these projects are local projects with local organizations, and so like you said, it's also a good way to teach your kids that giving back a little bit, and
exactly.
And it doesn't it takes time. That's all it takes. Just show up and be there.
Yeah. So that's happening for June. Pilar's also preparing for our return of our volunteer fair. We'll be doing that in August. So that takes a lot of preparation. We usually have 50 plus nonprofits from Wayne County who set up a booth, and we invite the community to come walk through and find out more about the nonprofits so they can decide where they want to connect their talents.
Yep.
Great
I can't believe that that's already coming back up again.
Yeah. I can't either. I can't either. So yeah, that will be toward the end of August. And we're already planning that kickoff for I think what we're going to do this year for campaign, while we usually start things in July, we have a lot of front runners who want to do their campaign early. So we do that, but our kickoff is usually kind of that big announcement that things are moving and we're just falling into all the rest of our campaigns happening. So I think we're going to do that around Taste of Wayne this year.
Okay.
That's the way we used to do it, but Taste of Wayne was always, you know, in August, the hottest day of the year.
Yeah.
And so, although last year was September and I think it was the hottest day of the year, holy cow. So we are, of course, going to have Taste of Wayne once again. We loved being able to partner with Freedom Fest.
Yep.
So we're going to be the kickoff for Freedom Fest once again on that Thursday, which is September the 5th, in advance of Freedom Fest happening on September the 7th.
It's going to be a great weekend because you can go downtown Friday night, get all your Taste of Wayne on, come back Saturday for Freedom Fest, and it is just a good time downtown.
That's
and you know, it's hard to beat downtown, nice day, Center Street. Like, you know, it's a good vibe.
Yeah.
It's a good, you know, we're right here in the middle of like Center Street jam time, you know.
That's
and, like,
right.
It's such a good vibe. But that's so much coming up. And really, I cannot believe that, because I remember it being at the volunteer fair last year. And for those of you who've not been to the volunteer fair, I always talk about how it's like college when you go to club day.
Yeah.
Or like even high school, I guess, had club day too. But like, you know, if you are in the community and you're like, I have no clue about any of these nonprofits, I don't know where I want to give my time, who I want to volunteer with. Yeah. It is literally, like you said, 50 booths set up of all the nonprofits in Wayne County. And you can walk to each one of them, find out what they do, find out where you can tap in and really connect in the community. So
we try to do it kind of around that lunchtime hour so that, before and after. So if folks want to just zip over, it's at the Maxwell Center.
Yep.
What a great space for us to be able to do that. But it is a good opportunity to just see what is happening in our community. How can I plug in my talents? How can I get engaged? And, while we invite the whole community, we certainly do kind of an extra effort with those high school seniors, the college students, and then our senior citizens, because those groups have a little bit of time on their hands, and so they're finding ways to connect and to volunteer. So it's a great opportunity to find out more.
Absolutely. Sherry, I know you guys have been busy. You guys have gotten, a whole bunch of funding to tackle a lot of issues here in the county too. Yeah. We always like to give props, to our state legislators who helped out with that too. Yeah. But how is that process going? That's just one more thing on your plate.
Yeah, but what a privilege. Thanks, a special shout out to Representative John Bell for just entrusting us in that process. But $750,000 was designated to Wayne County to nonprofits, and so that has been allocated out. And so what's happening with it is a third of that is really benefiting many different nonprofits, and some of those that are kind of newer, we're trying to help with professional development and growth. And then a third of it is going toward homeless initiatives and support there. The other third is going toward, just changing youth activities and really looking at gang activity and knowing that we, are trying to reach those youth before they get to that that period of engagement that they know there are opportunities for them before that. And so there's a lot of great programs, and so these funds are helping to benefit that. And so the Sheriff's Department is one that has a great program that they've been wanting to ignite, and so they have got that started. That's really exciting, but it's because of this funding that some things are really happening there. And then Community Supporting Schools has that Art Execute program. Safe Space for Youth has a program that's really engaging our youth, that are just around those areas of target market with that age. And so some good stuff happening there. And so we're really thankful for that. But yes, that funding has been allocated. Some of it we are doing some fiscal responsibility and support. And so we're working very closely with some of those nonprofits that, might have needed a little bit more support, but they're doing the work in the community. So happy about doing that.
I think that's one thing that I always like to point out about the United Way is you don't just hand over the money. There's a lot of reporting that comes with that. And I think that's a good thing for anybody who's interested in giving to the United Way, is that you're not just handing out money. It's not just a handout. It is, but there's a lot of, you guys want to see those changes happening. You want to make sure that the money's being spent well. We hear about so much, like post-COVID, right? Like in that COVID world, there was so much fraud surrounding COVID funding. But because there was not enough oversight, right? But I think that's one of the really great things about the United Way is there is that oversight, and you guys, of course, are making sure that all of those numbers are adding up and the money's being spent where it needs to be spent. I think that's very important for people that
you've seen
are
the
giving
vetting.
Money.
Yeah, that vetting process is so important, and we're also learning. There are a lot of nonprofits that are doing some great work. They just need a hand up to be able to build their capacity. And so being able to spend time with them, help them to know about how to build their board of directors, how to build in their staff, how to get a little more education in operating their nonprofits. So it's been a privilege to walk alongside them, and so we're going to do that. As they're spending those funds, we're going to walk alongside them and help them to just build capacity too. So
I think that's awesome. Sherry, anything else we need to talk about that's coming up?
That covers it. We'll be rolling into campaign before long, so we're starting to really get prep done there too. Yeah. I urge you to check out the United Way online, unitedwayne.org. They're also on Facebook. Give them a like on Facebook. If you're interested in signing up for that day of action, that's coming up pretty soon. Be checking that website because there's going to be all kinds of volunteer opportunities for that day for you to get tapped into. So absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Sherry, thank you so much, and we'll see you again next time.